Hi there, welcome to my views and news. National dialogue going to start in the Amhara region without Fano. Where will talks be held? Who will be involved? Details for you in this video. Secondly, Masresha, Fano commander. Where is he? Is he back in action? Why is that some Amhara activists are opposing the re-entry of Masresha, Fano commander? Thirdly, Somalia issued another letter today, a few hours ago, rather. The letter addressed to the UN seems to be a softer version of what Somalia wrote to the UN a few days ago. A few days ago, Somalia told UN to terminate its political mission in Somalia, which was appointed around a decade ago. This letter seems to be a toned down version of the earlier letter. Somalia seems to be apologizing, though not literally. So, why is that Somalia had to change its mind about the letter written to the UN? Why was the need for this second letter? Firstly, viewers, the national dialogue going to start in the Amhara region. More than a year ago, Ethiopian government formed a national dialogue commission approved by the parliament. The law was approved by the parliament, and then commission was established. The commission has no representation of opposition, main opposition political parties, which rejected the formation of the commission. ONLF, OLF, OFC, TPLF, and several other political players are not part of the National Dialogue Commission. No armed group is part of the Dialogue Commission as well. It has not been involved in talks. The National Dialogue Commission has been holding grassroots level talks with people, and delegates are being finalized. Thousands of delegates have been chosen so far, which will then start the national level dialogue. According to National Dialogue Commission, it is going to start national dialogue in the Amhara region. Amhara region, the region which is in the need of this dialogue, the region which is in need of this dialogue the most is Amhara region, because here we're seeing active and widespread conflict between Fano militia members and Ethiopian security forces. Few days ago, if you remember, National Dialogue Commission offered armed groups to be part of the dialogue, saying it would ensure the protection of these elements, armed elements, if they become part of the dialogue. So, no response. Armed groups, especially in Amhara, Fano groups, they don't want to be part of dialogue. They say that, firstly, the Fano commander from Gojam was heard 2 days ago, their representative, and he was heard saying that Fano had not been invited to the dialogue in Amhara region. Even if it was invited, it would not participate, because there's no point in talking to the government led by PM Abiy. PM Abiy wants to kill Amhara, so he should be killed. No, not killed. He should be removed. And after that, talks can be had. Now, according to Amhara regional government, according to National Dialogue Commission, National Dialogue is going to start in the Amhara region. It will be held in around 200 cities and zones of the Amhara region, 266 waredas, 21 zones and cities, 4,186 cabilets where this dialogue will be held. Fano not invited. Or you can say Fano groups won't be part of the dialogue. What is the point in having this dialogue? I am surprised. Everyone knows, even those who criticize Fano, they would say that Fano is one of the players in Amhara. By Fano, we means dozens of Fano groups, tens of thousands of Fano fighters. And they are the ones who are in charge of some areas in Amhara. They're in a position to assassinate people. They're in a position to carry out attacks in All parts of the Amhara region, they have their demands. Genuine or not, they have their demands. They're not part of the dialogue. Then what is the point of having dialogue? Isn't it a wastage of resources? The members of dialogue commission are wasting resources. Money is being spent without any results on this national dialogue commission. Dialogue can only succeed if relevant parties are engaged. Talks will be held. Amhara PP-backed elements will participate, and then Dialogue Commission announced that it has completed the dialogue in Amhara region, and several hundred or several thousand people have been chosen, and then they'll be part of the comprehensive national dialogue. What is the point of having such a dialogue? Basically, the federal government wants to show to the international community that it believes in dialogue, that a domestic dialogue is underway for the resolution of conflicts. But this dialogue lacks acceptance among the relevant stakeholders in Ethiopia. Secondly, because Masresha is back in action. There were two main Fano commanders in Gojam during the 2-year-long Tegarai war, and before that, after that as well, Masresha and Zamina Kasi. After Pretoria, Ethiopian government launched a dismantlement campaign against Fano groups. Both Masresha and Zamina Kasi went into hiding. Zamina Kasi was arrested. Masresha could not be arrested, but Masresha's family was attacked. His family house was raided too, but somehow he managed to survive. He was not arrested. So he was on the run. He could not organize Fano groups in the region. When ASF was dismantled, ASF members joined Fano, and then Fano got new life. ASF commanders of Fano fighters, they joined hands, and new Fano groups emerged. Zamina Kasi was released. Skandar Naga was the one who struggled in that difficult time. He returned from the US. He announced to form Amhara Popular Front. Zamina Kasi was in prison. Masresha was nowhere to be seen. It was Skandar who organized Fano groups in Gojam. He formed APF. Later we saw that Zamina Kasi was released from prison and he reclaimed his group. Skandar had to go from Gojam because he was basically commanding the Zamina Kasi group. He went to Shoa, he went to Wollo. I think mainly he's based in Shoa now. Now, Masresha is also trying to make a comeback. Masresha wants to be very relevant now. And criticism is coming against Masresha from Amhara Fano supporters. They say, where was Masresha last year? When Fano groups were being organized and they were suffering and they were fighting, and it was a challenge to organize Fano, there was no Masresha. Now, when Fano groups have taken some shape and they are organizing themselves and they're trying to form central structure, they're forming regional structures too. Now, Masresha wants his share. Should he be given any prominent position, or should he not be allowed to be in the forefront? This debate ongoing. Masresha is interested in making a comeback in a key position. Reportedly, he wants to establish a separate brigade as well in Gojam. Last word, Somalia has written another letter to the UN. This week, we saw a letter released by Somalia, issued by Somalia, addressed to UN, calling for termination of UN political mission in Somalia, which was established around a decade ago. It was due to expire in October, but Somalia wrote a letter in advance. Surprising. We heard about friction between Somalia's government and UN mission chief Katrina Liang, who had to leave. She was told to leave, and reportedly she ended her assignment prematurely. She has departed Somalia. So Somalia wrote a letter, which was a surprising letter. Then came clarification from Somalia last night. A new letter from Somalia's government, another letter to the UN, saying that Somalia wants transition, not termination. So You can say it's an apology from Somalia to the UN. Somalia says it wants to remain engaged with UN, the international players, but it wants a transition from a UN political mission to a UN country team. That is why it wrote the earlier letter. Earlier letter was a strong letter. It was as if Somalia wanted the UN to pack up and leave, and Somalia was not happy with UN operations. But this time, Somalia maybe realized that it would not be good for Somalia to cut off ties with UN. That is why this new letter has been released. Somalia is not in a position to survive on its own, I believe. Militarily, economically, politically, a lot needs to be done. It needs the support of outsiders, whether it should be bilateral support, support in the form of support from regional organizations, etc. But it needs support to be on its feet. Those who wish to support Somalia should not have any agendas of their own to be fulfilled through Somalia. Somalia will have to be careful. It is hoping that in 2025 it will be independent in decision making. UN will be gone, Africa UN mission will be gone, and then it can make big decisions. But it will have to be careful that its country should not be a playground for outsiders who want to achieve their geostrategic objectives through intervention in Somalia. Thank you.